If we think stress bragging is really a thing, then it should be different than just talking about stress.
Stress for employees is at an all-time high. And if you remember, stress is when the people feel like they cannot handle the demands that are on their plate. To the potential stress bragger,
Jessica Rodell is teaching an MBA class on organizational behavior.
65% of employees characterize their work as a significant source of stress.
And what we did was we assigned people to one of 4 conditions.
A professor of management at the University of Georgia's Terry College of Business,
It's okay to vent about being stressed.
Rodell's area of research is one that will hit home for everyone in the workplace: stress bragging.
Stress bragging came from personal experience. People that I work with and people in other organizations start to talk more about their stress, and I wondered why they were talking about it. It's the person that you're on a project with that's like, oh my gosh, I was up all night last night working on this project. You don't know how much I have to handle. I have this in my classes and this at home, and I've got this to deal with, and they're listing off all the demands they have, and in your head you're thinking, yeah, we all have things that we're doing, right? That's the person that is stress bragging, but they're painting it in a positive light, something to be proud of, something that they've accomplished.
Rodell and her team had 360 participants compare statements from imaginary coworkers returning from a conference. One colleague said the conference was great. Another said the work had been stressful. The stress bragging colleague described the conference as just one more thing on my full plate, and I was already stressed to the max. You have no idea the stress I am under. Participants found the stress bragging colleague less likable and less competent than the other imaginary colleagues, and they said they would be less likely to help the stress braggart if they were overburdened at work.
The truth is that probably most people who stress brag don't know that they stress brag. They didn't wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to tell everybody how stressed I am today. That's really going to work out for me.
Rodell's team found similar results when they surveyed 218 real-life employees about their personal experiences with stress braggarts. And they found something else, that stress bragging is contagious. It spills over onto coworkers who wind up feeling more stressed, which leads to more burnout and withdrawal from their work. It's normal to want recognition that we're doing meaningful work and that what we do matters.
Stress has become an easy way to signal that to others, to try to capture all the effort that we think we're putting into work and show it to others, to say, I'm working hard, I'm trying my best, look how hard I'm working, I'm even sacrificing my own well-being in order to do this well, and we want recognition. When people brag about stress, what really happens?
If right about now you're beginning to wonder if you've ever been guilty of stress bragging, take comfort.
Yes, I'm sure that I have. Or my husband would tell you that I have.
Here's the thing. There's a difference between talking about being stressed and bragging about it.
Talking about stress is not all bad. It allows us to vent and connect with other people. But once we start to brag about it, it takes a turn.
Rodell's research actually found that people perceived as being stressed are actually seen as more competent. It's when you throw in the bragging that it becomes a problem. For example,
it can be boasting about how many responsibilities you have, right? Oh, my boss just can't seem to start a new project without putting me on it. I already have so much on my plate. Why do they have to involve me in everything that has to get done?
Because of the contagious impact of stress bragging in the workplace, Rodell says leaders need to address it.
It would be prudent for leaders to pay attention to this and not just brush it under the rug, because there is potentially a contagion, crossover, spiraling effect. And if they can nip it early, they can help it from spreading.